Hello everyone, and this is a quick video on the rusting technique, how I do it. I'm just going to be using some acrylic paints, these in the tubes, burnt sienna, burnt umber and a burnt sienna, which is a slightly richer shade. I've got an old oil tanker, and for purposes of this I'm just going to rust the end of it so we can see what I'm doing. When I'm doing a small area and stuff like that, I use a cocktail stick. I split the end of it with a craft knife and just wedge in a little bit of sponge. Just a piece of ripped off old sponge. You don't want a good sponge for this. The older and mankier the better. I'm just going to put a bit of paint on the end of it. I'm just going to run that around the bottom here. Once you've applied it, just go over it all and dab it with the sponge, and the sponge actually leaves a little texture behind, which gives it the feel of corroded metal, you know. This is only a demo. I don't think I'll put this on the layout. Now I've put that one on. I don't bother waiting for it to dry. I'll get some of the darker colour. Same sponge. It doesn't matter about mixing the colours up or anything like that. And now I'm going to do exactly the same again over that. And you don't have to cover it precisely or anything like that. It doesn't matter at all, because you know, rust has got lots of different shades, and we see it when we look at something that's really rusty. Just makes that nice and rough. Now that is as I've done it, and I'll leave it like that for a while. Just fade it out along that top, so it looks a bit better like that. Now I'll give it a minute or two, and I'll go over, just highlight some of the places I've done with this, which is a much richer colour, got much more pigment in it, more expensive as well. So what I'll do now, I'll just go over a couple of edges here and there, and that just adds that other dimension of colour to it. And now it's looking slightly different, and I'll just fade that out. See, the darker the rust, obviously the longer it's been out there rusting, and the lighter the rust, it hasn't been as long. So some areas will be more rusted than others, and that's how you see it in the real world. Can't get a really good close-up, I don't think, with this camera, but you get the general gist of it. I'll do the same. I've got a car here that I've squashed up, ready to go on the scrapyard, and I'll do the same. I'll start off with a light colour over the top. I've already had a go at this earlier. I'm in take one that went wrong and my dog got involved. Same thing again, but if you're doing a big area, I just rip a piece of sponge, old kitchen sponge, and use that, and just get greater coverage quicker. Same thing again, get that all over. As long as you don't do it too thick, you can keep the original details like rivets and stuff, like on that tanker there's rivets and stuff that you want to be able to see through. Now that's first coat of that going on over a dark colour, and now I'll put some more dark over that. If you think it don't look good, go over it. Just go straight over it with another coat, another colour. You can't go wrong, and it just makes like a thicker rust. And if you miss it, little patches here and there, it gives you the variation on colours and stuff. And so that's that bit now. That's the rusty roof and what have you, and just rusty on the back. I'll probably rust that more or less all over, apart from the bumpers and things like that. What it was slightly off scale for what I wanted, and so I've taken all the parts off it to use in other jobs, and left with a shell for the scrapyard. That's about it. That's just a really quick video on how I do the rust, and I'll probably carry on with this tanker and do it all the same way with sponge. You can't go wrong. There's no precision to it whatsoever. When it's all dried, I might apply a bit of weathering powder here and there, and I make my own with pastels, and I do use some commercial ones as well, some of the really vibrant colours, and some enamel washes as well. You can get from AK. You get like rust wash, tracks wash, and streaking rust and things like that. Just tiny bits of those where you'd see the rust running down the sides and stuff like that, and it makes for a good job. Anyway, that's all. That's it for now. Thank you ever so much for watching. That was just a quick demonstration on how I actually do the rust. I really appreciate you watching, and I really appreciate the fact that you've subscribed. Thank you ever so much. Bye for now.